That's my ass!
Who's driving?
It's over 9. What?
Crap car!
Use the boots to get it! No, no, no!
Huh? What the f?
Hello again, everyone. This is Bionic Slime. I'm your online voice for reviews of your choice. You know, I've been on the internet for a long time now, as I'm sure everyone pretty much has. And as I go on looking through websites, looking at movie updates, and checking out the newest music videos based off my favorite anime and cartoons and stuff like that, I come across several message boards and forums with certain conversations. And over the years, I've noticed that certain conversations tend to keep popping up, and certain subjects seem to keep, coming. And as I've read them and replied to them and, argued with them, debated with them, I've learned that when it comes to internet conversation debating, there's only one rule that you need to be very, very much aware of before entering one of these debates. And that rule is, some people need to shut the up. This is not a happy topic for me. As you can already tell, I'm kind of pissed. Why? Because this is a list of my top 12 things on the internet that piss me off. Now, I don't expect anyone to agree with what I say. In fact, I expect people to disagree a lot with what I say. I'm sure there are a lot of people who favor themselves as intelligent human beings and like to post their intelligence quite broadly on the internet, proving their smarts, their worth, and all that shit. And honestly enough, I'm not much different. There's nothing that separates me from any other person or any other jackass you read on the internet or talking to. The difference is I feel that I have a little bit more biased opinion because I'm a little more accepting of things, and I try to see the good in everything, even in what some people consider to be the worst of the worst. So I've comprised a list of the top 12 things that piss me the hell off. Things that I just don't, I'm sick and tired of people hearing. I'm sick and tired of hearing people complain about. I'm just sick and tired of hearing it. Period. Now, if any of you feel the need to respond to this video negatively about the things I'm talking about and just want to bash or flame me or just react very negatively and more critical than constructively critical, then I advise before you do it to please adhere to my 5 IT suggestion list. And they are: suck it, shove it, eat it, ignore it, or my personal favorite, just deal with it. This is my list, my choices, and my feelings for getting pissed off here. So whether you agree or disagree is your own right, but please let me vent my God-given right to vent opinions just as much as everyone else has. And now let's get on with the top 12 things that piss me off to high hell.
You need to shut the fuck up!
Number 12. Ignoring bad films in film franchises. This one, to me, I can understand from a fan's point, in the sense that people don't like to admit certain films exist in their franchise. For example, the Godzilla film series, which is one of my favorites, has like 30 to 29 films. This includes the American 1998 Godzilla film. Now, the fact that I actually enjoyed this film as a film of itself, not as a Godzilla film, the thing you need to understand is whether you think the movie sucks or not, you can't just ignore it. I get so sick of people, like from the James Bond series or the Star Trek series or Friday the 13th series, where people try to talk about these films in the past tense, like it doesn't exist. It's like, like, oh, I don't count the American one. Well, guess what? You should, and you kind of have to. You cannot just ignore something because something bad happened. I'm sure a lot of American historians would like to forget all the horrible things that people have done over the years, like genocide and slavery and rape and countless destruction of civilizations for our own selfish, greedy reasons. So for that reason, I say suck up and take it. You can't just ignore something bad just because you didn't like it. That movie of Godzilla 1998 exists. It's going to always exist, and no matter what you say or do, you can't just ignore it just because you did not like it. Same with James Bond, same with any other film franchise. They're going to make bad movies. You have to sit there and accept the fact they made it. Don't try to ignore them and pretend they didn't exist. They did. It happened. Get on with the rest of your life. Number 11. Anime purists. Now, but specifically when I say anime purists, I'm talking about the people who act like anime is some sort of untouchable, holy, sacred piece of art that cannot be damaged or dampened, and is like the Mona Lisa, and that changing it like even a little bit would be dampening like her smile. Give me a friggin' break. That's bullshit. Anime is a form of entertainment. It's a frickin' TV show or a movie or a book. I don't believe that anime is any more sacred than a comic book or a kid's book or any other thing. It's a form of entertainment. Just because you change certain things doesn't mean you're essentially pissing on it. There have been perfect examples where anime series have been transformed completely different from their source material, more or less, and have been successful, such as Ghost Stories and Samurai Pizza Cats. Sometimes animes need to change just because not all of the jokes and the tricks and gimmicks are going to work over here. You have to remember, anime is a whole nother country's form of entertainment that is being brought over here. Now, whether you guys like an anime to be dubbed or subbed, whether you watch it, is your own business. What I don't like is people who proclaim one is better than the other or one is less of the other. I do not believe for one frickin' minute that subtitles are superior to dubs. I think that's a load of crap. You know, I don't care if you want to watch your subtitled anime. You can do that. I respect that, but respect my opinion to watch the dubbed and don't make me feel like an ass for watching dubbed. You want to know why? Because you're not watching anime in its pure content by watching it subbed. The only way you're going to do that is if you learn Japanese and watch it in its pure Japanese form without subtitles. Because believe it or not, subtitles are altered. People can put different things in there or misinterpret things, so it doesn't always work out the same way. So don't you dare get on your high-ass horse and dare say that anime is a sacred art that can't be touched. It's a form of entertainment. Get over it. It's not that holier than thou. It's just a show. Accept it. I don't give a shit that they changed things in Digimon to make it a little more PC. I enjoyed the show. I watched it as it was, dubbed on TV, and I enjoyed it. So I'm not going to bitch about that. Number 10. Complaining about movie remakes, either an older movie or a new movie or a Japanese movie. Get with the program. It's gonna stay here. Stop bitching about it. Look, I know from first-hand experience that not every movie remake is gonna be better than the original. In fact, most 9 times out of 10, they're not. But I don't think it's wrong for companies to do that because I'll be honest, a lot of the films that are being remade, I couldn't give two shits about seeing the original. Like they remade the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, I enjoy the film for different aspects of it, and I like remakes in the sense they can give you a new perspective to take on it. I do not want to see the original Omen. I have no interest in the old Omen. That's why I saw the new one, because it appealed to me. Because guess what? I grew up in a new, more modern age. I don't want to go back and look at the old films. I'm sorry, but older films do not really strike my fancy. So I don't really care if they remake a film. If it looks bad, I won't see it. And you should do the same. I honestly think the American remake of the Japanese Ring movie is superior to the original Japanese film. Now, I also saw the original Japanese Grudge and the American Grudge. And I tell you one thing, there's not too much difference. There really isn't. They're pretty much the same movie. I mean, there's some slight differences with actors and that, but it's essentially the same story. So it's not always defiling anything. So just, get over it. Movies are going to be remade. You got to either not see it or just live with it. So, I mean, it just seems stupid to argue about it. Number 9. Comparing the new Star Wars prequels to the original Star Wars films. This is just stupid, okay? I know from first-hand experience about childhood movies from movies you grew up with. Trust me, the new stuff is never, ever, ever, I repeat, ever going to compare to the original stuff. I knew right away that the new Star Wars films weren't going to ever come close to touching the original films. Why? Because it's something you're attached to. You're a grown-up with it. The writing in the older Star Wars films was better. I didn't expect it to be better because I knew I was expecting a different movie series. You can't have these godlike expectations to be surpassed. That by doing that, all you're going to do is focus on what was wrong and not look at what was right in the movie. It's the same thing like when you're comparing Batman Begins to the original Batman that was made by Tim Burton. Don't compare. Accept it for what it is and just enjoy it for what it is. It's a different take. You don't have to say, well, this is better. That's like saying Heath Ledger's Joker was better than Jack Nicholson's Joker. It's a different portrayal. It's a different take. The Star Wars films, I agree, are a different ballpark because they're supposed to be the same story. But nothing that anything that George Lucas is ever going to do is ever going to compare to his original works. I already knew that before I even saw The Phantom Menace. And I still knew that after I saw Revenge of the Sith, which I still loved, regardless of my love for the original Star Wars films. I'll always love the old ones. That's not going to change. So you guys need to just accept that and stop comparing it, because it's not going to fit. You're putting it on too high of a friggin' pedestal. Good God. I'll take a break here and continue on part 2 with my list.